Oh my gosh. Okay, this is a huge life update vlog because I have literally, I think, got engaged, got pregnant, got married, and had a baby since the last time we spoke.
What?
And today I'm going to be talking about intuitive eating, postpartum weight loss, and how I am managing my best body after having a kid. Hey little Ruly, what's going on? It's been a really long time that we've talked. If you're just following the vlog and you're not on my email list always gets the updates on what's going on with me. But if you're just on the vlog, it's been a little moment because I've been, a little bit busy with everything. Like I said, I got engaged. I found out I was pregnant within days of that. And then I had a really kind of challenging pregnancy. It wasn't super challenging. It was probably kind of the opposite of challenging because I was just no energy whatsoever. So I didn't do a heck of a lot, including working out. And then I got married, and then of course I had the baby, and then I went on a 40-day retreat. So I've been gone for 6 weeks, just kind of grounding in my new reality and bonding with my little baby boy, Willem Gray, who's happy, healthy, and lovely. And now I'm back. And a big thing that I have seen being talked about in, the health and wellness / weight loss world, one of the biggest ones I think is postpartum weight loss. And one of the other biggest topics that I see being talked about in the health and wellness and the diet and nutrition field is intuitive eating. So I'm going to talk about both of those things and what I have learned, because I have learned some crazy stuff in pregnancy and in marriage about those two things put together. And I really want to discuss all of the really great insights I have found. If you are new to this channel, I am LaLee. I am an academic researcher / master healer. Long story on how I ended up being those two things, but in essence, I am also a nutritionist who dives into using holistic wellness to get into your best body, using body positivity and self-love to actually lose weight. So one of the biggest challenges that I have seen, one of the biggest life challenges is having a baby and also getting married. This tends to go with weight gain as far as, when I'm looking at our culture and when I'm looking at what women are talking about. This is one of the biggest topics out there. And one of the most groundbreaking kind of things that has happened to the diet industry is intuitive eating. And now intuitive eating is something that I always recommend to my Rootly that study their best body natures with me at Uproots Wellness when they're trying to heal the relationship with their body and their body's relationship with food. Now, there's quite a few reasons why we do that, and I'm going to get into that later in the video. But basically, allowing yourself to eat whatever you want, whenever you want, however much you want, kind of resets a lot of things like metabolism, but it resets your ability to hear what I call your ideal body nature. So your ideal body nature understands and has a natural sort of inclination towards the best, most healthy foods for your body. So children are typically very highly aligned with this, and we are typically, you can see my husband and my baby in the back. Say hi, baby. We are typically conditioned out of it by, the diet industry, by all of these messages on what we need to do to get into our ideal bodies, etc. Why we get out of our ideal bodies is a completely different topic that I discuss on microtrauma. If you look on the channel, anything to do with microtrauma, you'll understand why we get out of our ideal bodies to begin with. But when we're trying to get back to it and we get all of this information about what we should be eating or how we should be eating in order to get into our best bodies, and we're not looking at it in a holistic way, and we're not working on our wellness. We're just trying to use what we're being told from this industry on how to eat. We can really damage our relationship with food and our body's relationship with us. So we start, ignoring those hunger cues, etc., or trying to feed our body things that aren't ideal for our bodies, etc., whatever. So intuitive eating is a very powerful tool in the healing aspect of ideal body nature. So there's 3 aspects of getting into your ideal body composition. There's the heal aspect, the grow aspect, and the strengthen aspect. So intuitive eating works very well on the heal aspect. And that is why some people within the intuitive eating world, or within the intuitive eating sort of people that are advocates of this, lose weight. A lot of people do gain weight. A lot of people who have been dieting for a long time will gain weight and then lose weight. There's a lot of different ways that intuitive eating can affect a body, but the way that we use it and the way that it is intended to be used is always healing. So moving on from that, you can grow and strengthen into different things, which I'm also going to talk about when I start talking about ideal body nature nutrition. But what I wanted to discuss was how intuitive eating impacted me and how pregnancy impacted my relationship with food and my relationship with intuitive eating. So in my first trimester, I very, very quickly learned that the way that I was eating before was not going to be the way that I was eating going forward. At least for the first trimester, if you know anything about pregnancy, the cravings started, and I didn't have any like crazy cravings. I think I ate pickles with peanut butter on it once or maybe twice. But other than that, there was nothing really crazy that I craved. What I craved during my first trimester was all of the foods from my childhood. So we're talking, like 90s, standard American diet, even though I'm Canadian, standard Canadian diet of what everybody was feeding their kids back then. So mac and cheese, microwave burritos, tons of like sugary stuff. Like I actually don't particularly love sugary sweets. I love sweet taste, but I always use stevia, and my body actually prefers that when I have sugar normally. It doesn't, like, I don't like it. It's like, it's too much for my mouth. So I actually prefer sort of stevia sweetened things. And I make lots of recipes that are also on this vlog on really healthy sweets, because that's what I prefer. But when I was in my first trimester, I wanted sugar. I wanted white flour. I wanted pastries. I wanted everything that, we see as like being treat food, and a lot of the things that kids like to eat. It's just a thing. I've heard other women talk about it. For some reason, we revert back to like our childhood, ideal body nature cravings when we're in our first trimester. And because I could not eat anything aside from what I wanted to eat, I really had to listen to my body and really eat intuitively. And I feel like this was maybe the first time that I had in my adult life completely put aside the diet industries, whatever, and my nutritional knowledge, because I've been studying nutrition for so long, trying to separate what my ideal body wants versus like what I've learned is good for me. It was almost impossible, I thought. So I didn't realize it was almost impossible. I thought that I was totally eating according to my ideal body nature and according to my appetite. But I realized when I wanted all of these foods that I don't typically eat, that I was labeling things as like bad, and I was kind of avoiding things like, too many carbs and stuff like that. So pregnancy completely undid that. Pregnancy put me in the position where, there were some days that I was eating like nothing but carbs. Like all I wanted was like a giant plate of pierogies. And if you're not Canadian or Eastern European, you might not know what that is. It's kind of like a a potato ravioli. That's like, that's what I wanted to eat. I wanted potato raviolis, or just like toasts, just toast and butter or whatever, croissants, etc. Just really carb heavy, or like giant slices of cake. I mean, there were lots of days that I ate giant slices of cake, or Tim Hortons donuts, the Bieber donuts. What were those Bieber donuts called? Justin Bieber donuts?
Oh, I can't remember. They're good though.
No, they were like these little donut holes that Justin Bieber made with Tim Hortons, this Canadian donut
Sour
chain.
cream.
What?
Tim Beefs.
Oh, Tim Biebs. Yeah, the Tim Biebs came out twice when I was pregnant. So we were like waiting with bated breath on those, and we ate those, and I just ate everything that I wanted to eat, and what I wanted to eat was a lot of stuff that we typically call bad. What ended up happening in my pregnancy with that duo kind of bad, according to the weight loss industry, combination of not working out because I was so tired and eating a whole bunch of, carb heavy foods, or like bad foods. We're talking, processed, frozen foods, etc. Because I was eating really in line with what my body truly wanted and eating really mindfully, I was, according to like Ideal Body Nature Nutrition that I teach, I actually only gained under 25 pounds throughout my whole pregnancy. My baby was born healthy. I had, everything in my body was like totally great and healthy, and still continuing to eat intuitively. I have not tried to do anything with my diet, etc. postpartum, eating all of the same kinds of foods. I didn't, I wasn't like addicted to like mac and cheese and like straight carbohydrates for the rest of my pregnancy, but still, giant pieces of cake, like every day having like sweets, etc., pastries, whatever I wanted. I lost just over 20 pounds in 4 weeks. So now I'm 6 weeks postpartum, and realizing that my body did this really healthy thing. As I was intuitive eating, I really healed a lot of these little pieces that were left of sort of separation from myself and my authentic appetite and my ideal body nature. I healed these connections with myself, and what I was able to do was to have a totally healthy, very minimal weight gain pregnancy, have a totally healthy baby, and then lose, almost all of that weight gain pretty much immediately after. Now that is the heal aspect. So my body was able to do what it needed to do. It's totally, it's good to go. Everything is all right. It's very natural, etc. But what we do at Uproots Wellness is we get into ideal body composition, okay? So not just natural body or naturally good body or, naturally healthy body, ideal body composition. So we're getting into our best bodies. So the heal aspect of that intuitive eating can do things like heal your metabolism. If you have damaged your metabolic rate by restrictions, intuitive eating can actually heal your metabolism. Sometimes that comes with weight gain to begin with. If you have been restricting for a long time, or like heavily restricting, you can at times gain weight to begin with. That is the story of those people who typically they'll lose weight after and get to more of like a natural equilibrium with their bodies. The other thing that it does is it regulates your hunger and your satiety. So if you have like kind of broken your connection to your authentic hunger and when you're actually full, when you're satisfied, because if your body goes into any kind of starvation mode whatsoever, it's going to get really, really hungry, and it's going to get really hard to, is not going to tell you when it's satisfied, because it's going to want more and more and more to stock up for that starvation. It can also raise your trust with your body, getting into your own intuition of what you truly desire, what your body truly needs. This creates kind of like your best body vibes. And it leads to you eating in line with what your body needs, because what your body needs and what my body needs and what somebody else's body needs, in general terms, we can sort of look at, generally speaking, what people's bodies needs, but on a specific day-to-day, moment-to-moment level, your nutritional needs are very, very specific to you, and your out of body nature, your authentic hunger, they are the best dictators of that. They're the ones that know that best. This also produces happy hormones. It makes your hormonal kind of levels, if you're doing all of the other ideal body composition steps like stress management, etc., as well, looking at it from a holistic perspective again, eating what you want to satiety whenever you want, this is really going to create like a happy hormonal environment, and that is totally in line with losing weight and not carrying extra fat. This leads to actually binging less and actually craving less. You'll feel more satisfied in general, and this practice actually cuts shame out of the picture, which shame has been positively correlated with weight gain, and healing shame has been positively correlated with weight loss. So intuitive eating is an incredibly important part of this ideal body composition puzzle. It's part of the heal component. But getting into my ideal body now postpartum is going to take grow and strengthen as well. So while intuitive eating can give you like a naturally kind of good body, and it really has, I have been kind of an emblem of this like naturally sort of healthy body, doing this naturally healthy thing, making this baby, feeding this baby, my milk has come in, I have more than enough for him, etc. And now getting into my best body, getting into my ideal body, that's more like being your best self. Healing yourself, you could be like a good version of you, like healing yourself. You can be like this, like nice, authentic version of you. But if you want to become the best version of you, if you want to like create like big goals, if you really want to, develop yourself into your highest potential, like you're going to need a strategy. You're going to have to grow. You're going to need like a foundation. You're going to have to learn things from people who have grown themselves, have developed themselves into, some similar ways that you want to develop, and actually like climb a ladder and face challenges and overcome obstacles, etc. So when we're getting into our best bodies, these are the next natural steps. And these next natural steps, when we're talking about food, is what I call ideal body nature nutrition. Ideal body nature nutrition is an actual formulaic strategy to get in line with your ideal body nature and use the wisdom of, experimenting, of the healing, of, traditional nutritional advice and insight and science, as well as the new relationship with your body, to like strategically and formulaically create your ideal body composition. So now that I am 6 weeks postpartum and I am able and willing and ready to do this, I'm going to be going on a journey with you guys to get into my ideal body composition postpartum. And I really am really excited to have you along on this journey with me, whether or not you are postpartum or just want to get into your ideal body composition and lose weight using wellness, using holistic health, and through kind of a way that's like sustainable and makes you happy. Then I am super excited for you to join me on this journey. And all you have to do that is like and subscribe. You can share this with any of your friends who might need to hear that weight loss does not need to be a chore. It can be enjoyable and lovely and spiritual and based in science all at the same time. So I'm LaLee, and I can't wait to see you next week in the next video. Bye, guys.
What?